Alright, look, I know the title of this video is Super Mario 3 All-Stars Makes Me Mad. So this game came out back in September of 2020. We all know what kind of year that was, so I would say some of the things that I'm gonna talk about here is just they're just my opinions, but they do I would say get a pass. Not necessarily that they need a pass for me, but I just feel like I needed to throw this in there just so that way I don't want to sound too harsh because Super Mario 64 is like my favorite game of all time. So I'm just glad that it's finally on the Switch. It's finally I can play it anywhere, it's portable. I mean it's the full, the N64 release, which is nice, and they did update the graphics and all that, but I'll get into that a little bit more here in a second. But yeah, now that I got that out of the way, because I know Nintendo fans are just like gonna go like off on me. Trust me, I'm a Nintendo fan as well, which is why I kind of critique this game because it just doesn't make sense in my opinion the way it was executed and certain decisions that Nintendo decided to take. One of the things I wanted to get into was similar games in this genre, like other compilation games. They have more features, and it looks like it looks like the developer put a little bit more effort into the presentation, And quite frankly, I don't even know if I could even use any Nintendo footage to show you. But anyway, so I just feel like they didn't really put much effort into the presentation of the game. For instance, you could tell right here, like some of the box art, it looks kind of weird in the sense that starting from the left, you have the Super Mario 64 box, right? But like that's literally all you get. You don't see the back of the box. You just see the game with a brief description, but you don't like get to see the back of the box or how the cartridge looked or anything like that. And in the middle, you have Super Mario Sunshine, which it's a minor annoyance, but you don't see the box. Like if you compare it to the Super Mario Galaxy box, right here on the one right next to it, you can see that the box is kind of outlined, and not just like a straight picture like the Sunshine one. I know that's nitpicking, but it's just a minor annoyance. And then of course, you get the three soundtracks, which I would I would say you could just. This kind of feel like it was just thrown in there. You know what I mean? Like it's a nice addition, but most of these songs you could look up on YouTube. Just to clarify, I know nothing of like video game design or development, so I really don't know how difficult it would have been to do any of these things. Like I said earlier, it was made in 2020, and it kind of caught everybody off guard. So that might have been a reason why we got what we got. But either way, I just felt like I needed to throw that in here. The next critique would be that Super Mario 64 has no widescreen. So it's on the original, the original aspect ratio. It wasn't upgraded to the widescreen like you get with the other games. Like Sunshine Super Mario Galaxy, I believe was already widescreen, so they didn't really need to do that on there. I should mention though, I gotta give them credit. They did update the textures of Super Mario 64, but that was pretty much it. And I don't condone emulation or anything like that, but it's crazy how you could actually get Super Mario 64 running on your PC at 60 frames per second with like 4K textures. To me, that's just insane. Like I said, I don't know how easy or hard that would have been, given the Nintendo Switch specs. But I mean, we're talking about a game that came out in 1996, so I don't know if that's a good excuse or not. But I'm just trying to look at it both ways, trying to stay as unbiased as possible. I know the title kind of doesn't make sense, but yeah, it's just something that's just annoys me. Like I said, this game came out in September, and I'm still thinking about it today. It's just, oh my god. And another thing is that I I kind of blame this on the leaks and all the leaks that we heard, and I guess my expectations were just way through the roof that this game was just not going to deliver, given the circumstances. My next point was that Super Mario 64 DS was just completely ignored. I swear, and if I find it, I'll try to put it on here. There was rumors saying that we were going to get like a combination of both with updated textures, full screen, and it was gonna be like it wasn't just gonna be the textures updated, but it was gonna be like completely new textures. I try to find it. If I find it, I'll put it on here in post. But yeah, I was just expecting Super Mario 64 DS to be on here because this is Super Mario 3D All Stars, so that is a 3D game or a 3D Mario game. but that's not the case. It's just completely ignored here. So yeah, I mean, I'm not sure why that was done. And then the other thing is this. I feel like I just keep talking about Super Mario 64, but this is like, I feel like the one that they got the most wrong with, because not only is it Super Mario 64, all those other things, but on top of all those things, it's the Shindu edition. For those of you who don't know, the Shindu edition is pretty much like a version that Nintendo released after, I think it was a Japan exclusive, that pretty much patched a lot of the bugs that the original Super Mario 64 released with. Like, for example, that backwards long jump to skip to the to the upper part of the castle, that was completely removed. I wouldn't say removed, I would say patched. Also, the unlimited staircase, if you backwards long jump far enough, the original bug, you could just skip through that and go to the the last castle without having to reach those 70, I think it's the 70 stars. That is completely patched as well. So not only is this game, has all those other things, but it's also not speedrunner friendly. So many speedrunners will definitely want to stay away from this game. From what I've heard, I'm not a speedrunner, but just based on the community, what I was getting at, the kind of vibes I was getting with is people genuinely don't like the Shindu edition of Super Mario 64 because of that. I gotta give them credit though. They did update, Sunshine and Galaxy. I was really surprised how Galaxy, the motion controls worked on there. It felt, it didn't feel out of place. It actually felt pretty smooth. Keep in mind, I was playing with the Pro controller, so that might have something to do with it. But it felt smooth. It didn't feel out of place. So I gotta give them props for that. Also on Sunshine, it's the first time it's ever been re-released. So I'm extremely thankful for that as well. I know some of y'all's, favorite Mario game was Sunshine. Mine, I like it because of nostalgic purposes, but I would still say Super Mario 64 is my favorite. Another pet peeve, could you call it pet peeves? I don't know. Would be that this game released at full price, full $60, which in my opinion, I feel like not 20. I feel like 40 would have been a fair price. Again, this is just a minor critique. $60 is what we're used to anyway, but I just feel like for the amount of content that was in here, it was not worth it. You're paying $20 for 3 games and their soundtracks. So, $20 a piece. That I just feel like it just feels wrong. I don't know how to really describe it, but I feel like $40 would have been a fair price. $60 is just kind of insane in my opinion. Which leads me to my last point. The last point being that it was a limited edition. So if you're watching this video, whenever I upload it, whether that be in June or July, you can no longer purchase the game from any retailer, if I'm not mistaken. It was actually taken off, not just from any retailer, but also online on the eShop. It was taken off on March 31st of this year, 2021. So I don't really understand why they did that. I'm still, trying to piece it together. I was thinking that by now, by them taking it off, they were maybe going to add like a Nintendo 64, like a virtual console like they did with, I guess it's not a virtual console, but, like the NES and the SNES, you could play those games on the Switch. I was thinking they were going to add something like that. So would it make sense to keep it, keep the All-Stars game on there, on the eShop at least? But as of right now, it being, June 17th, that hasn't happened yet. So I'm not entirely sure why it was limited in the first place. Okay, so as I was trying to come up with a theory, I have an official statement from Doug Bowser, president of Nintendo of America. In an interview with Polygon, he defended Nintendo's decision, at least regarding Super Mario 3 All-Stars, by saying that it was done specifically because of the anniversary and that Nintendo wants to celebrate it in different ways. So that was the official statement from Doug Bowser, and I'll try to put it on here for you so that way you can see it. So yeah, I mean, so saying all of that, Super Mario 3D All-Stars does have some flaws and problems, and it's just something that's been kind of in the back of my mind for a minute. And I just, decided to make this video just to kind of speak up on it, and see if you guys have any similar thoughts, or, what you thought about it. I would definitely like to hear your concerns or questions. I know I'm really bad at replying or even paying attention to the comment section, but I promise I'm gonna get better at that. So definitely leave your response in the comment section below, and then we'll see how it goes. But catch y'all guys on the next one.